All right, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Let's go ahead and get into it on a Friday. Picture me rolling Friday. And let you play music on YouTube. I don't know why. They block it immediately instead of giving the streams to the artists. But there was this one radio station in LA that used to always play Picture Me Rolling every Friday. And then Bill Simmons, I don't know if he got it from them or he picked up on his own. He started doing it. So shout out to Pop. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So Deshaun Watson reports for training camp. The decision was supposed to come today, didn't happen. So I mean, it's what 6 o'clock, almost 6:35 on the West Coast, and he was supposed to report to training camp, and he did, and no ruling today. So we'll see when that happens. Camp are starting to come full swing. A lot of players on the pup. Jalen Ramsey on the pup. Looks like that young receiver for Kansas City who I was interested is going to be in the pup. No deal for the Ravens. They didn't practice yet today, so we don't know if Lamar is holding in, if he's going to just show up and actually not practice until his contract is taken care of, or he's just going to play out the string. So again, my advice to him is you don't play a snap, regular season, preseason, practice until your contract is taken care of, because everybody else in your draft class, people who've done less than you have been taken care of. So you need to be taken care of, and especially the way that he plays the game. Derek Carr happy to focus just on football. They had a lot of stuff going on last year. They had Gruden. They had Henry Ruggs car crash. They had Arnett, one of their first round picks at the quarterback position, pull out guns on Instagram and Twitter threatening people, and he got cut. So there was a lot of stuff going on with the Raiders, and they were still able to make the playoffs and gave the Bengals a good game. I mean, they were at the goal line with a chance to win the game. So the eventual AFC champions. So this will be a big year. You have Josh McDaniel coming in. Now his scheme is a little intricate. I don't know if he's going to run the same exact thing that he ran in New England. I'm guessing it probably doesn't make sense to. That scheme was notoriously hard for people to learn. It was a read and react system, where the receivers run routes based on the coverage. So if you and the receiver don't see the same thing, you're throwing it in places that they're not supposed to be. So receivers have had trouble in this system. Chad Johnson, most notably, and quarterbacks, I've told you they've struggled in this system. Cam Newton, that polygon quarterback, Mac Jones, that they drafted last year, he doesn't look like a polygon anymore. He used to look like one of them old Madden 96 quarterbacks, just big blocks. But so we'll see. Do they transfer that over here? Because everybody's going to be on a learning curve. Or do you kind of, massage your thing? I mean, it's his job. So people got to get on your level. But, you got a new quarterback, new head coach, new top wide receiver. They brought in Chandler Jones. What does he have left in the tank? I think he's only 32 years old, so he's not old. I think that's on the older side for pass rushers, but we're seeing now that, guys are extending their career. So we'll see. That AFC West is probably, on paper, probably the best division ever. Going into a season, not playing the results, but just going into their season to say the Chargers might have the best roster in football, top to bottom. You have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and Russell Wilson. You brought in a playoff team. You added Devontae Adams and you added Josh McDaniels, a hot name and head coach. And oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and them boys. So like that division, AFC West, man, that might be once again, not playing the result, not saying, oh, well, this division had 3 teams, they all went to the playoffs, one won the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about preseason evaluation going into the season. This might be the best division of all time that I've ever seen watching football. And I've been watching football seriously now for 20 years. So we'll see what happens with that. The AFC just in general is a bloodbath. There's going to be a lot of good teams that are not going to make the playoffs. A lot. So it's a tough thing that's going on. So Bob Kravitz, and I don't mean to do this. I know y'all tired of the Lakers, but I gotta talk about Bob Kravitz. Senior writer Athletic on Twitter said this today. Let me pull it up. He said the Pacers and the Lakers both exchange trade concepts. Now it goes away. Involving Miles Turner and Bubby Hield, with the Lakers presenting a package with draft capital. The sides engaged, but the talks appear to be idle for now. So what the Pacers want is they want 2 first-round picks for these players. So if there's no, you can do this deal and then you can do the Kyrie deal. You have to do either one or the other, right? Now, the Lakers, their stance has been no one else is bidding for Kyrie, so why do we have to attach a lot of draft capital? And hey, in a real world scenario, that would make sense. But in the NBA and NFL and sports in general, they don't do things that make sense, right? All you have to be concerned about, I think, if you're running a team, is your own team. How do I make my own team better? To me, 2 first-round picks for Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris, trading away Russell Westbrook, is a fair trade. It's a fair trade, regardless of if no one's bidding on him or not. To get Russell Westbrook and to trade him for Kyrie Irving, a literal basketball wizard, and a 6'6" elite shooter in Joe Harris, that's what you're looking for. That's exactly what the team needs. So why are you not doing it? And they're like, oh, we're worried about the future. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know if I've said it here, but shout out to my man at the Big Time Podcast. I just did this podcast with this other YouTuber who invited me on. I really appreciate it. When it comes out, I'll send a link to it. But he asked me, would I do this deal? And I said, of course I would do the deal. And this is the reason why. I would do this deal because if you're the Lakers, you got Ballmer willing to spend whatever it takes on one side. You have that's going to have his own arena. Up north, you got the Warriors who are willing to spend whatever it takes and got their own arena. You are a tenant of Staples Center. You are a mom and pop shop, so you don't even have the money to pay for your own arena, right? So you're not going to be able to beat them in amenities. You're not going to be able to outspend them. The way that you can beat these teams is your brand. Our brand is stronger than yours. If all things are even, people are going to want to join the Lakers. And the way that you keep your brand hot is you keep it winning in sports. And there hasn't been a parade down Fig in 12 years. That's a long time. It's probably one of the longest droughts in Laker history. There has not been a parade down Fig for over 12 years. You have arguably the greatest player of all time on your team, still in a prime, not the very peak of his prime, but he's still a top 7, 8 player at worst. You have to go for it. You have to be relevant. Another year missing the playoffs damages the brand. You can't beat them in analytics. You can't beat them in drafting. The Warriors, their whole team is drafted. That guy over there, the GM over there, that guy is a beast with the drafting. He just is. He's a beast. He's one of the best. He's going on an all-time run with his draft picks, right? You have Ballmer, the richest owner in the league. I think he's richer than all of the owners combined. You put them all together, besides Kroenke. Kroenke technically doesn't own it. His son owns it. But if you put them all together, besides Kroenke, the Denver Nuggets owner, he's richer than all of them. You're not going to be able to compete with him in money. He's building his own stadium in Inglewood. He's going to have the best amenities, best everything, right? Lakers, you weren't getting these guys until LeBron tried to show. LaMarcus Aldridge laughed you out the building. Kevin Durant didn't consider you. The list goes on and on and on and on. LeBron shined his light on the Lakers organization. So this is a chance to rebuild your brand. You cannot just throw it down the table. You can't just throw it down the trash can. Excuse me. You can't push it down, push the cards away on the table. It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, Turner and Buddy Hield, how is this a better pairing than what you have right now? How is this better than Kyrie and Joe Harris? I mean, I just don't I don't get it. I don't get it. And I mean, for all the people that think I talk about the Lakers get talked about them that much, they move the needle. People care. When the Lakers are good, when the Warriors are good, when the Knicks are good, there's certain franchises. The Warriors have now gotten to that category. Certain franchises are doing well. It's good for the league. All of the big name franchises are kind of moving in the proper direction. Besides the Lakers, it looks like they're moving backwards. And I don't know if there's bitterness because of the Russell Westbrook situation, but man, you got to get over that shit. And in business, you hire fast, you fire fast. Okay, it didn't work out. Let's move on. Players talking more benefits with Big Ten, improving benefits. What type of benefits are they talking about? Medical care. I don't know. A lot of football players, shout out to my man Marty, they tell me that their bodies get beat up, man. I remember there was this picture of this running back. I think he was a Penn State running back. After the game. Back. I don't think it was Saquon. College bruises. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could find. I gotta look for that picture. I'm gonna find it. There was this picture of this guy after the game. He's talking to the media, and his body just looks like he been in a fight with a couple rounds with Tyson. And like I said, my man Marty, he told me, this guy that we went to college, who went to the NFL, Richard Marshall, that he stopped playing at like 31, and he said his body just was beat up. So yeah, we think about the NFL players, but the college players, a lot of them are going through the same thing. So hopefully, this bears fruit and they do start a program that gives the players better benefits. So we'll see about that, but they're just talking about it. I mean, I think that's it for the Friday. Tyler Hero, most polarizing high wattage game. I mean, there's nothing really polarizing about him. He's a good player. He's in that Jamal Crawford lane where, he is Jordan Clarkson, doesn't have as good of a handle, but has a better shot. He's not somebody that can be the best player on your team. He's slight, as you can see right here. He's skinny. He's not a ball handler. He's not a passer. He's a microwave scorer. That's what he is. Someone said, I think it was Shaq co-signed when he said, "Oh, I should be talked about like Luka and Trae Young." Those guys can be hubs of the offense. You need to be a lead ball handler. You need to be a passer. He's neither one of those things. He's below average. I remember in the Sixers series, he had 2 good games. The Sixers trapped him every game after that. He was non-factor. So, we'll see what ends up happening with him. Miami, if he was rated on the caliber of this player, this wouldn't be a discussion. They would have got KD by now, but they probably would not have got KD by now because you're not trading Luka Doncic and Trae Young for KD. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And I was listening to the Dan Le Batard podcast at their Miami show, and they said, "Oh, well, some people are saying, intimating that this might be because of race." It has nothing to do with race. Luka Doncic is one of the highest rated players. I think he's overrated, but it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with game. He doesn't have the game. There's nothing really polarizing about him to me. He's a microwave scorer. That's it. So, I mean, good luck with that. His class is coming up for extensions. Good luck with that, because I know he's going to ask for a max. So good luck with that. So, all right, before I get out of here, like I said, there's something I want to share. So, thank you everybody. The people that have watched, our friends that have been pushing me. I've been pump faking a little bit with the streams, but I'm really been on it the past. I think it's going on like 4 weeks, a month now. So I'm gonna really just count it from the time that I streamed and posted videos every day. And things have blown up. Shout out to my man. He didn't want me to say his name, CT, but for sending some followers my way. The bigger videos, those are the ones that are the better ones, and I definitely have to commit myself to making more of those, making those in different genres, getting better equipment. Now that I can actually make money off this thing, let's go hard. Let's see if we can't get a video that does 1 million views. So, the sports videos, there's so many, it's rare. You have to come at it at a particular angle. It can't be like the season previews and things of that nature. So I got a couple of ideas that I'm gonna probably put out there this weekend and upload it. But thanks everybody for their support. To make money off of talking sports, that's a dream come true. So, the first checks, however big they are, I'm definitely going to appreciate it. So, all right. I'm going to be dropping stuff this week. I'm going to drop a whole bunch of NFL season previews. And I think I'm going to stay away from the season preview because everybody's doing that. I'm just going to focus on the last part. A lot of people have told me the last part is the part that they like the most. The 3 most important things with each team, because everybody's doing the season preview. You can break it down. I like doing the season preview because it makes me familiarize myself with the teams a little bit more. I'm going to be doing a college football one 30 days before the season, 30 questions. So check out for that. Keep those videos short and sweet to the point. I'm going to do some Game of Thrones content. Big fan of Thrones. Thrones is coming back. 20 questions that about the sequel and the prequel. There's a prequel coming out, and there's going to be a sequel with Jon Snow. So I got a lot of questions about that, a lot of unanswered questions watching the show back again. So, and then I'll probably do Succession content whenever that comes back, because that's getting up there with one of my favorite shows of all time. All right, go ahead and leave it there. The game is the game. All right, thank you for watching this clip. Do me a favor, push the button, hit subscribe. Come on, man, push it.
Push the goddamn button! Push the goddamn button! You heard what she said.
And do what's right. You heard her. Push the button. The game is a game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.